What's up everybody, Arrg the Pirate here, and today I'm going to be playing a little Offlane Feng Mao. As always, let's go over the deck first. Now I start out with Auto Mana Potion, Fast Travel, Duelist, Quick Exit, Armored, and Executioner's Rush for my gems. Now for the cards, I have Demolitionist, Exoskeleton, Living Guardian, Green Spring, Sand Speeder, Growth Totem, Swift Hunter, Vital Waters, Heavy Hitter, Thunder Cleaver, Nuke Blood Mutant, and lastly Shatter Golem. Now how I kind of build this deck is, of course I get my early game cards, I rush Green Spring and Growth Totem as fast as I can. And then once I have Green Spring and Growth Totem, I try to go into my Thunder Cleaver. And from there, I kind of just devolve my build. I grab Heavy Hitter and Nuke Blood Mutant, and then I'll change out Heavy Hitter for Shatter Golem. And if I get to that final build, I'll usually pick up Shatter Golem, Nuke Blood Mutant, and Heavy Hitter. Now, I don't play Feng all that much. I think he's a great hero, and he's currently one of the stronger offlanes, in my opinion. And, he's a pretty decent jungler, even though he doesn't have a sustain. But I've just never really synced up with this kit. I make careless mistakes, and, this is my first match from, or I guess really my second, but my first with Feng since, I got back from my sister's wedding and everything like that, so I do make some careless mistakes, but I end up with something like 15, 16 kills, something like that. I end up doing really good. It just takes me a while to get there, which is typical of an offlaner. Now, I am in the offlane with a Kwang, and Kwang starts out a little bit stronger than I do with his sustain, so I do have to be very careful of that. And if you see, I'm really not going after him. I don't want the minions to focus me if, they're not going to. Now, I shouldn't have ended up going in on that, and, I end up taking quite a bit more damage. Now, I'm going to go ahead and try to bait this Chimera, and luckily he does take the bait, but I did not think he would be able to make that jump as far as he did. I end up getting a kill, but I was hoping to avoid dying. So, we start off pretty rough, but we took out a jungler, which I would say taking out that Chimera early game is critical because he is such a strong early game hero, and if we allow him to get fed, it can really cause a problem. So taking him out, kind of disrupting his farm, isn't going to hurt anything, but yeah, I would have liked to live there. That did allow me to put on my Exoskeleton, which, to be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of Exoskeleton. I think it's an okay card, but I much prefer that Living Guardian. Of course, that is Chaos, so you are, it's two different things. But I do have a strong early game with these two cards, and this is really going to allow me to stay in lane and everything like that. Now, I don't have healing towers, so if you were wondering, that's why I'm not going back to my towers to heal up. Maybe one of these days I will get that gem, but right now I don't have it, and so I really don't have any form of sustain other than getting those, 3-4 point cards. Now, getting early game farm is key if you want to use that growth totem. Getting it on at about 10 minutes is kind of around the area you should focus on. I've picked it up at about 15 minutes before, and I don't really feel the benefit from that card. So getting it at 10 minutes is really kind of the pace you need to set. Of course, if I was in the offlane with a support and a real ADC, I might not be able to get that 10 minutes, but getting that close to it is really kind of the, I would say that's the average number that you want to shoot for, between 10 and 15. If you go much over 15, I think you'd be better off picking up a solid card than, this card that kind of slowly levels up. Now I do end up heading back. I'm able to put on my green spring, so I finally do get some sustain. I'm going to head back in lane and just try to continue to farm. One thing about having a non-ADC in their safe lane is this allows you to farm a lot better, which I still, since I don't play Feng all that much, his animation kind of throws me off, and I'm not securing these last hits like I would really like to, but that's quite alright. Now, Quang ends up heading into the tower without minion support, and, you know, I'm going to punish him for that. I get a good bit of damage, but I do get body block, but that's okay. I'm going to head over. I was thinking about tower diving. Yeah, as you can see there, I went ahead and popped my shield. But I said, you know what, I'm just going to let him go. He's going to have to back. That's going to take him out of lane probably for longer than it would if I actually got the kill. And I would take quite a bit of damage. So I'm going to just let him go, get a little more farm, and try to get that growth totem on as quickly as I can. Now, Quang did use his ult to back. I don't know if you saw that, but he did throw his sword down, and I guess once he went back to base, he used his ult to back. So he no longer has an ult, and, you know, I was able to put a fair amount of damage on him before he actually got out. Now he went into our minion wave, and I'm able to wrap this kill up fairly easily. I don't even have to waste my ult on it, which, you know, I didn't have mana for it anyways, but we're able to secure that kill. So we're 2-1, we're not doing horrible, and I'm going to be able to put a little bit of damage on this tier 1 tower. Now I was able to back off of that tower. I secured their gold buff, and, you know, I left the tower. It was taking pretty good amount of damage, but they had a decent rotation, so I'm going to leave that alone. Now, Twin Blast has been running around a lot, so I know he's not very fed at the moment, but they do have a 3-man collapse. I'm able to dash out. I get under tower, and if you see, I'm just going to run around this tower. Now, this is key, because if I were to run out of the tower, my tower would quit hitting them. But by staying in tower, this allows me to kill that Chimera. This is also going to allow me to get a substantial amount of damage done to that Quang. You know, I am going to go down for that, but I would have gone down if I would have just tried to run away anyways. So it's better to stay under tower, get that damage done. It might even force them to back, or you might have a rotation from your team to clean that kill up. Unfortunately, I didn't have a rotation, but I was able to get a kill and, you know, almost force a hero out of the lane. So I'm 3-2, but like I said, it gets better from here. This is kind of a rough start, and I'm still kind of trying to work out the kinks of Feng. But we had a great, you know, I was able to secure that Chimera again. So yet again, I'm forcing him out of lane, which he's currently the strongest hero on their team, and he's kind of the threat we need to shut down. Now, Quang is pretty scared of me at this moment. You can see he uses his sword, he uses little zappy powers to do some damage to me, but with this Living Guardian on, I'm not taking a whole lot of damage from him, and I'm able to actually put quite a bit of damage on him. So he ends up getting away. I am out of mana. I still don't have a power card on at this moment, so it's no big deal, but we're going to force him out of lane yet again. Now, for whatever reason, he did not back. He ends up actually going for the gold buff, and I'm going to punish him for that. And that's kind of a lesson that everybody can learn. Don't sacrifice yourself for the gold buff. If you're low and you want to go pick up gold, it's better just to let the enemy have them, because he got, you know, he got 200 gold out of that, and I got a kill for it. So it's much better just to let gold, leave gold alone, you know, chalk it up to, hey, that sucks, I missed it, but it's not worth dying for. Now, once I push that minion wave into the tower, I go ahead to head back, clean out my jungle camp, and I was just kind of waiting for our lane to be pushed back, and it, as you can see here, it was able to push back no problem. Quang is here. Now, again, he's picking a fight with me, which he should be slow farming. If I was him, I would definitely slow farm, because I'm currently out farming him, because he's had, you know, a couple people show up and steal not only experience, but he's not really focusing on last hits as much as I am, which I'm not focusing on them very well. But you can see here, we're getting into a fight. Now, I'm kind of protecting my tower a little bit, and, you know, we're just kind of really just beating each other up. He did end up taking just entirely way too much minion damage, so I'm able to secure that kill. Currently 5-2, so I'm doing pretty well, but I am low, and if you see here, I'm going to kind of keep eyes on Gideon. I'm going to just kind of look around. I'm just going to lazy back, but I want to keep eyes on heroes that will be able to finish me off. Now, one thing, I do have enough points to go ahead and grab that Swift Hunter, and so I can skip Sand Speeder, and that's one thing about building decks now, is you need to build the best cards that you have access to. Like right now, Sand Speeder would be a worse choice than that Swift Hunter. So go for Swift Hunter. You know, that's kind of just the rule that you should follow. Pick the best card that you possibly can with the, you know, things that you have. Now, I am keeping Living Guardian on. I love that card. I think it's a great card. I do get rid of it, you know, once a little later on, but I like to keep it a little longer, especially with melee heroes. I just feel it's such a strong card. And, you know, that's just going to allow me to do more damage and kind of sustain. I'm able to kill Quang again. He's, you know, like I said, I am out farming him. I've got this massive power spike, and so this is going to allow me to just keep doing damage to him. And as long as he keeps challenging me and I'm able to take him out, this is really going to allow me to just keep getting farm and farm. Now, I was just going to push this lane and rotate, but Chimera ended up heading in. Now, we've got a massive minion wave, and as you can see, I'm able to do quite a bit of damage, but since he's got that great sustain, you know, he's out damaging, or he's out healing my damage. Now, I do end up chasing him, but unfortunately, they do have a little bit of a rotation here. So I need to take this time to just get out. I am low on mana. I'm very low on health now. I should not have chased that, but, you know, you can see right there, Chimera's, if you don't shut him down, he can get to the point where he's a threat and you have to deal with him. And that's exactly what that was. He's at the point where he's out healing my damage. So I need to make sure that next time we engage with him, you know, I take him off a guard, or we don't have a minion wave around so he can't just swing in circles and still get health. I need to isolate him, take him out, and keep his farm away from him. Now, our lanes have been pushed fairly, you know, quite a bit, and I have not been able to rotate, but now's the perfect time. I'm going to go ahead, set this lane, and I'm going to head to mid lane. Now, Gideon's been very, very aggressive, so I'm hoping we'll be able to take him out. And I go ahead and charge over to him. I get an ult off. I hamstring him, but he's able to, you know, do his teleport and get out. I'm going to head to the top side of this jungle. Now, if you saw, Chimera was trying to protect him, and I'm, you know, down for the chase, but I don't see where he went. So I'm just going to go ahead and head over to the safe lane, help secure this Twin Blast kill, which we get him fairly easily as well. So, although we didn't wrap up that Gideon kill, we did get a support and an ADC. My lane is still set, and I'm going to have to rotate back over there shortly, but we were able to do quite a bit of damage to everybody. Now, I'm going to go ahead and head over to this Chimera, let him see me. I did not want to go behind him. I want him to know there's a presence there. And I'm still fairly healthy, so I wasn't too worried about him being able to take me out. But that was kind of a play of, hey, someone's here, so you can't push this lane. And if you saw, it did work. He ended up backing because, you know, he knew other people would show up. He can't sit there by himself. Now, I go back to that off lane, just kind of secure these minion kills. Quang's here, but again, I am leveling faster than him. I didn't have any minions with me. That's the reason I backed off a little bit. Now that I do have the minions, I'm going to be able to do a substantial amount more damage to him, and I end up wrapping up that kill as well. And like I said, this is just kind of allowing me to get more and more farm. I'm 8-2, so we're doing very well, and I'm just going to continue putting a lot of pressure and try to rotate as much as possible. Now, once I get back into lane, I really fast push this lane. I did not set it. And the reason is I still want to get farm. I'm not at the point where I'm confident enough to just completely ignore farm. I do have a solid build going, but I do want to farm. So I'm going to get that lane pushing so they have to deal with it or it resets itself. I head over to mid lane. Unfortunately, we do end up getting, that tower down, but we are able to secure that Twin Blast kill, and Gideon's running, but we're going to be able to wrap him up as well. I'm able to blink over to him, get a hamstring on him, finish him off fairly easily, and I thought, we had quite a bit of our team over here. I thought we were going to continue pushing this lane, but I turn around and, hey, everybody's gone, so, I got to get out. I can't handle a Chimera and a Kwang. Those two life steal or those two healing auras paired together, I'm not able to deal with that. And, that's just cue to get out. I don't need to be in that fight. We're on their side of the map anyways, so just back off. But I need to stay here because they are going to keep pressure up in this lane. Now, once Kwang actually does push this lane, I am aware that, Chimera, he just ran through the jungle, but they're probably going to look for, an easy kill on me. And my Chimera, if you see, is right next to me. So I know that we're going to be able to at least get a kill, and sure enough, we're able to take out Kwang fairly easily. Chimera does head in, but my Chimera backed off, and we kind of had a little bit of a miscommunication there. Now, we no longer have minion advantage, so I'm going to try to take out some minions, but they do end up running away from this minion wave. So I'm going to go ahead and help out. We're able to secure this Chimera kill, and, yeah, we're 11-3, or 11-2-1. So we're doing very well, and I'm getting to the point where I'm fed enough to just kind of bully my lane, really bully any lane that I want to be in. And this is just really setting a good pace for me. I still have to worry about other lanes, but you can see here, I'm taking out minions fairly quickly. Once I get that Thunder Cleaver online as well, we're just going to absolutely push lanes like crazy. Now, I did put on my Thunder Cleaver. I'm currently pushing down my off lane. You can see all of our lanes are pushed. There's pressure everywhere, so this is really limiting my ability to rotate and help out with kills and ganks and things like that. But that's fine. I'm still able to get objectives. And if you see here, we make very short work of this tier 2. And I'm going to go ahead and take out this Richter. And with my Fae being with me, we're able to just make very short work of him as well. Now, I want to head into the inhib, but I did notice Chimera heading through. He's heading towards us, and I go ahead and tell Fae, we need to get out. There might be a team collapse. We need to get out. I don't know where the enemies are. And if you see here, sure enough, Chimera was heading behind us. We're able to take him out fairly easily. And, I'm still very healthy. I'd say, hey, we can probably maybe head back to that inhib, but I see a couple of enemies heading towards us. I don't want to risk anything at this point, but we might be able to still keep up this pressure. Now, you see their Gideon and their Kwang they're both, together are doing a substantial amount of damage to me, but we are able to secure both those kills, but I am, pretty much dead. So I go ahead and tell Fae and Chimera, hey, I'm going to back. Y'all can probably push that inhib. With 3 of them down, it's probably a really good time to take that inhib. And I head back to base, kind of fill up on, health and mana. I change out that Shatter Golem, or that heavy hitter for that Shatter Golem. And you can see this is kind of that in-game build. I do change out my Growth Totem for that Unstoppable Cyborg here in a little bit, which, honestly, I don't know which is better. I don't know if it's better to have one or the other, but I've never been a big fan of random things, and although Growth Totem is not really random, you can count on the numbers, but you slowly go up. I would rather have a card that, boom, this is what it is. That's just kind of personal preference, but no big deal. We didn't end up getting that inhib down, but I'm going to go ahead and push our mid lane. We do have our Chimera and Faye currently securing Prime, so I'm thinking maybe we'll be able to get that Prime, and I'll have some rotation in mid, and we can actually take out this tower. Now, I do go ahead and secure that Gideon, but their Richter was able to head over here. He used his ult on me, but there we go. We secured Prime. I'm going to go back in. Like I said, I was thinking that they were going to head over to mid, which was another little miscommunication on our parts. And I end up getting collapsed by this Richter and this Chimera. And you can see I'm taking way too much damage. I'm not going to be able to take these guys out. And without, you know, having that rotation, they end up taking me out fairly easily. Once I spawn back in, I go ahead and push my off lane. And I'm going to solidly push this. We've got a lot of presence in our safe lane, so I just want to keep a lot of pressure up. But I'm not planning on actually going to the inhib. I'm going to hard push this and then rotate to mid. And maybe we can get something done in mid. I prefer having the mid inhib down, which if you see that minion wave, I probably could have fairly easily taken out that inhib if I would have just stayed. But I wanted to rotate to mid. Now, I see Chimera getting green. I go ahead and tell my team, y'all just get out. Don't worry about mid. Our Chimera ended up going down. They had just a massive rotation, and there was really nothing we could do. I go ahead and start getting this inhib, and I'm actually able to take this down. And luckily, you know, he died. Our Chimera died in that mid lane, but that was kind of the play that allowed me to take down that inhib, really uncontested. So, great play all in all, and, you know, we did fairly well on that. Now, we didn't make anything happen in that mid lane, so I'm going to head back. I got my lane pushing now, and Quang is here, and you can see he's just turning and running. He doesn't want to mess with me at this point. I'm at my sort of max build. I've got my Thunder Cleaver, my Nuke Blood, and my Shatter Golem. Now, I did say Unstoppable Cyborg earlier, and I believe I have both those cards in. I would prefer Unstoppable Cyborg over Nuke Blood, but, you know, I just put the wrong card on. You can see I tried to go steal this green buff, but I'm just going to go ahead and go in on this Wukong here, or on this Quang here, and we're able to take him out. Faye ended up heading over, which I didn't see, and I ended up wasting my ultimate, but we were absolutely able to annihilate him. We're going to head to mid, down this mid inhib, and, you know, this is really kind of the beginning of the end. Now, Feng Mao is definitely one of my most underplayed heroes. I like him, I just don't sync up well with his kit. I think his animations are cool. He's an absolute terror to deal with, but I just don't sync up with him well. And, you know, in version 42, I'm finding myself playing games more for, hey, let's just go try some new things and have some fun, instead of playing games where I'm like, okay, let's have strategy and win. So I might play him a little bit more and just kind of start playing those heroes that I've really never played. And I gotta say, I'm having a lot of fun with Feng. He's a really fun hero to play. Now, Chimera challenged me in the middle of my minion wave, and it just absolutely got deleted. We're able to head to this core and take it out fairly easily, and that kind of wraps the game up. This was a great game. I ended up 17-4-4, which is, you know, amazing. That's anytime someone gets that high, it's a great game. Well, that's going to kind of wrap it up, guys. I hope y'all enjoyed. I hope I was able to show y'all a deck, and, you know, maybe y'all can try that out. Feng is definitely a great fighter, and he's currently one of the top-tier fighters in Paragon, and I gotta say, he's pretty fun to play. If you can just kind of learn his kit, he's a little bit more difficult than some. If you learn that kit, he's an absolute blast. Well, thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, show me some love, leave me a comment, think about subscribing, and as always, I'll see y'all in the next video.